Welcome to this deep dive. Today, we're looking at some really interesting source material. It's a list ranking the top historical Korean dramas we should be looking out for in 2025.
Yeah, and our goal isn't just to read the list, right? We want to really get into what makes these shows potentially stand out. The concepts are pretty creative.
Exactly. It seems like historical dramas are really branching out. Lots of Joseon Dynasty settings, sure, but mixed with, well, all sorts of things.
Totally. Fantasy, romance, mystery, even some spooky stuff. It's a great snapshot of where the genre is heading.
Okay, so we're going to count down from number 5 to number 1 on this list. Let's jump in and see what's cooking.
Let's do it, starting with number 5.
Yep, number 5. It's called Bon Appetit, Your Majesty. Great title.
Right. And the premise is, well, it's pretty out there. You've got this French chef, Yeon Ji-young.
Described as cheerful but strong. She just won a big competition in France, got an offer for a Michelin 3-star place in Paris. Sounds amazing.
Living the dream, basically. But then, instead of Paris, she's somehow transported to the Joseon Dynasty. It's mixing a lot of genres. The leads are Yoon and Lee Chae-min, and it says it's on air very soon, so maybe even out by the time you hear this.
Okay, intriguing start. Culinary historical fusion romance thriller.
Something like that. It definitely sets a tone for blending genres.
All right, moving on to number 4. This one also plays with that modern person in the past idea, but differently. The First Night with the Duke.
Ah, yes, the transmigration story. So here we have a university student, just called Kay.
And she's a fan of a particular historical romance novel.
Obsessed, probably.
Yep.
And then she wakes up inside the novel.
Wow, it sounds fun, actually. The leads are Seo Hun and Ok Taekyeon. Release date listed as June 11th, 2025.
Yeah, it plays with tropes in a really self-aware way. It's interesting to see that kind of meta-storytelling in a historical drama format.
For sure. Okay, number 3. Different vibe again. The Scandal of Chunhwa.
Right, this one's set in a fictional historical country, Dongbanguk. That gives them freedom.
Good point. No need to stick strictly to Joseon history. And the main character is a princess.
Hwari, the youngest princess, and she's got an independent streak. When it's time for her to marry, she decides she's going to find her own husband.
Bold move for a historical princess, rejecting arranged marriage.
Totally, but that's only half of it. She also wants to find out who painted her face onto a series of erotic paintings. Chunhwa.
Whoa. Okay, so she's leaving the palace to find a husband and solve a scandalous art mystery involving herself.
Yep, dual mission.
A princess taking charge. Leads are Go Ara and Cheng Rayul. Release February 6, 2025. So this one might already be out.
Could be. Worth checking out. Now for number 2. We shift tone quite a bit. The Haunted Palace.
Okay, title says it all. History plus horror.
Looks like it. The setup involves a government officer, Yoon Gap, good reputation, handsome, the usual. But he gets possessed by an Imugi.
An Imugi, like the legendary serpent creature.
That's the one. Trying to become a dragon, you know the lore. So people think Yoon Gap's lost his mind, but nope. Possessed.
Yikes. Okay, that's dramatic. Yeah. Especially inside the palace.
And the Imugi has a goal. It needs the body of another character, Yo-ri, to ascend to heaven.
So who's Yo-ri?
She's the granddaughter of a famous shaman, has this divine gift, spiritual powers, but she doesn't want it. She refuses her destiny, works as a glass craftswoman instead.
The reluctant hero, or heroine in this case.
Pretty much. And crucially, she was Yoon Gap's first love.
Oh, okay. So him getting possessed forces her hand. She has to confront her powers to save him.
That seems to be the setup. She enters the palace to help him, but the palace itself is, well, haunted.
Right. Filled with powerful female ghosts and evil spirits connected to the royal family's past.
Yeah, holding grudges. So there are weird incidents, scary stuff happening, all tied to these historical ghosts.
So it's not just the Imugi, it's a full-on haunting.
Seems like it. And the king, Yi-song, is involved too. He's a reformist type, wants a strong nation.
So the mission is the 3 of them. Possessed guy, reluctant medium, and the king.
Yeah, trying to figure out the secret of these female ghosts to get rid of them, and presumably stop the Imugi.
That's a cool team-up. Mixes palace politics with ghost hunting and this possession plot.
Definitely unique. Leans hard into the supernatural horror. Leads are Yuk Sung-jae and Bo Na. Release date, April 18th, 2025.
Okay, definitely one for fans of spooky historicals. And that brings us to number 1.
The most anticipated, according to this source, Dear Hongrang. Son, Hongrang, returns home after being missing for 10 years.
10 years. Where was he?
That's the mystery. And he comes back with amnesia, no memory of his childhood.
Okay, classic amnesia trope, but the 10-year gap makes it really intriguing. Who is he now?
Exactly.
What makes these fusions, history plus fantasy or mystery or modern sensibilities, so compelling right now? What does that say about the stories we're drawn to?
Definitely something to chew on. Well, thank you for joining us for this deep dive into these anticipated historical dramas. Hopefully this look at the source material gave you a good preview.
Thanks for tuning in. Always interesting to see what's coming next.